We've been in a sermon series called Kingdom Characteristics. We finally made it to the Beatitudes, or the blessed attributes of Christ, the blessed mindsets. And I know I watch people come and go, and they'll be on fire for a little while, then they'll fall off, they'll have an experience with God, and it's a tangible, it's a real experience. You see even in deliverance, you'll see people, man, they'll begin to sweat, and we're praying with a lady the other day, and it was nice and cool in the room. She was the only one sweating profusely, and I know that they're having a real encounter with God, but for some reason it's like it doesn't stick. Now, do they come back? Do they go through seasons? I've been through that, so I get it. But as I'm studying the Beatitudes, as I'm looking at these blessed mindsets of Christ, I've come to realize that they're building blocks. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for they shall inherit the kingdom of God. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. These are building blocks of our faith. But the reason that people do not stick, and maybe they progressively did, but the reason that they struggle to remain is because they never get step one right. Blessed are the poor in spirit. When Jesus said the word, there were two words to denote poverty in the Bible. You would think I'm out here headed to cut some grass, don't make a whole lot of money. It's just to supplement the church's income and to build a business to where we can work young men in our sober living houses. So I would be, if you don't make a whole lot of money, if you drive a hoopty, if you're living below the poverty line, but you're still working and you're still making it, that would be working poverty. But Jesus didn't use that word. He used a word that described utter poverty, beggar poverty. When we come to God, we have to realize that, man, we are spiritually bankrupt, that we are spiritually empty, that there is nothing good in us. The American church teaches that we are good people wanting to be better people. Man, that is so far from the truth. There is nothing more wicked than the human heart. So the step one is that I realize that I am spiritually bankrupt without God. And I can never lose that revelation. I can never begin to think that I'm a man of God or a woman of God and begin to elevate myself, begin to become puffed up in pride. Let me tell you why these preachers are falling left and right. Pride is the very root of all sin. People elevate them and lift them up. Let me tell you what the Apostle Paul said. I am a bondservant. I am a purchased slave who has absolutely no rights. None. I have no rights. I have none. Step one, man, blessed are the poor in spirit. Become poor in spirit. Realize what you are without God. Your testimony is not your own. It's God's testimony. When I wrote The Unaddicted, I don't take any money from that book because it wasn't me. It was not me that did that. It was my surrender. It was me becoming utterly poor. It was the realization of how morally bankrupt I was when I went to that Walker County jail May the 25th, 2007. And it was May the 27th, 2007 that Jesus revealed some things to me about what my purpose is. But you cannot operate in your purpose until you realize how much you need God, that you can't live without Him. So listen, if you've not been tuning in or you haven't been there, go back and listen to the last couple of weeks as we build the building blocks of our faith. These blessed attitudes. You can't mourn, and we're not talking about mourning loss in life. We're talking about when I become utterly aware of how morally bankrupt, how depraved I am without God, I mourn my sin. I mourn my sin. And then I become gentle or meek in my interaction with others because I remember where I was. And then that builds in me a hunger and thirst after the righteousness of God. And then I become merciful to those who maybe sin differently than I do. And then in all that, there is a pureness of heart, a singleness of mind. So join us. God bless you. I'm going to go cut some grass. Have a good day.